like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B. Just before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, hit that comment button, get people inside the Pull Up Basketball Podcast to enjoy this great content before y'all wipe y'all feet. Open your eyes to the podcast tonight. We got a good show for y'all tonight. Hit that like button, get comfortable. Lift your feet up, have a drink, and enjoy the hottest basketball podcast out there. The Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Let's get it popping. Hi. So we got some things to talk about today. NBA free agency has kicked off. We are officially in the month of June, towards the end of the month of June. We're getting ready for the free agency talk, which starts on June 30th. And there's some very hot free agencies out here. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that can be moved this summer. You got to talk about Zach LaVine, talk about Donovan Mitchell. Um, but the person we're going to talk about tonight is Bradley Beal. Now, I had I think a video about probably a week ago talking about Bradley Beal, free agency options coming up this next uh whatchamacallit this season. So I had to get my thoughts together. But Bradley Beal has some free agency talk this summer about what he's gonna do going into the next season. And y'all know how free agency works. It's a very stressful time for NBA players because usually I don't think people understand that you don't have to just, think about yourself, but you think about your family, you think about the money, you think about, criticism from, the outsiders. If you do leave your home team and you go somewhere else, you got to think about the fans, what they're going to say about you. So there's a lot of things that are barring on an NBA player when they have to choose a place to, play for the following season. Okay. That's just what a contract is. You play your contract out, and then once you play it out, you get a chance, your option to either stay if they offer you a new contract, or if you get the opportunity to leave, you can leave. You know what I mean? Make sure I hit that like button, y'all. So we in this case with Bradley Beal. If y'all look at the quote with Boxton, it says Bradley Beal has been recruited by a lot of superstars and has already made his decision on where he's going, but won't share it. So this was a quote, I believe, about a couple weeks ago, made about from Bradley Beal, that he's already made a decision, what he's gonna do, and it kind of left me especially kind of like at the edge of my seat because I like Bradley Beal a lot. I think that him being in Washington, he's been overlooked because of the team he's on. But he's obviously a great, offensive threat, offensive player, 3-time All-Star. But when you losing games and you at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, then you're somewhat forgotten. But you put Bradley Beal in a good situation, he can be a third option on a championship team. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So it's left people thinking, what in the hell Bradley Beal is going to do this off season? Where is he going to sign? Okay. I got some trade destinations that I've been hearing surrounding Bradley Beal if he does end up leaving the Washington Wizards. Okay. Now, there was a tweet that Bradley Beal put out this week about how he denied a claim that he said that he wasn't going to be leaving the Washington Wizards next season once they said that he declined his option. And this is what y'all see from Bradley Beal's Twitter. He said, "Wait, huh? LOL." Basically replying to the reports that he had declined his player option already. Now, you guys know that the players have until June 29th to decline it or accept it. Kyrie Irving is another one, has an option to June 29th. So Bradley's looking at like, how did y'all even come up with this information if I ain't even said nothing about it? So that's probably what he's referring to when he made this quote. He's like, we ain't even reached the trade. We ain't even reached the deadline yet, and you're already, exposing what y'all think I'm gonna do. So I don't know if Bradley is just like trying to save face and act like he's not leaving, he's gonna be staying, or is he just like saying, just respect my privacy and let me go through my decision first in the process. But there's been reports of some teams that have been some heavy favorites throughout this season, and now we're in the off season. So let's go through the few teams. The first team we're going to talk about is the Eastern Conference champions that were eliminated by the Golden State Warriors, the Boston Celtics. Okay. Now, this is a team that actually is one of the teams that are, high odds to recruit Bradley Beal, believe it or not. Excuse me. If you guys look at the Boston Celtics, what they're looking for, they need a point guard. They need a guy that can, be a dynamic ball handler for their team and be able to, create instant offense. Now, if you look at the Boston Celtics this season, their point guard was primarily Marcus Smart and Peyton Pritchard. Okay, Marcus Smart is a great defensive player, but he's not a great floor leader. He's not a playmaker. That is not his mo. His mo is to play defense, defensive player of the year. Okay, so Boston is lacking at that position. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are more so they're playmakers, but they're not legit point guards, and they lose the ball quite often. So they need a guy in there who can bring some, execution and bring some order to the offense. And Bradley Beal will be the guy to me that can, do that job. Because if I watch Bradley Beal, how his playing style is, he's very under control. Yes, he's a two who scores the ball, but he also can't handle the ball. He won't turn the ball over. Most nights he'll be the bigger player of the point guards because he's I think 6'4". So if you bring a guy like Bill in, then it's gonna really raise their game. They're gonna raise their team up. And also you guys know that Bradley Beal is best friends with Jason Tatum. This is why this was an option to have Bradley Beal there because he's a best friend of Jason Tatum. And I think Jason Tatum would need a guy like Bradley Beal. Y'all know one of my last lives, I said Jason Tatum needs to get toughened up, and I think the player to do that for him is Bradley Beal. I think if they had Bradley Beal right beside Jason Tatum in those moments, I think he would bring a level of comfort because yes, they're best friends, but Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum are two different type of people. Jason Tatum seems a little bit more mellow, a guy that kind of is laid back, doesn't really have much of a fire to his game. And then you look at Bill, he has a quiet killer in him. He has a quiet fire inside of him. So I wouldn't be against having Bradley Beal on that Boston team. Now, of course, you got to look at the money and financial side, the business side of it. I don't know how much cap space. I don't think Boston has much cap space right now, so they'll have to get rid of a few max guys. They might have to get rid of Marcus Smart and Al Horford. Just being honest, they're going to have to get rid of some players to open up some cap space for Bradley Beal because that's going to be a big contract if they choose to bring him in. So they got to get rid of some players. But if they're able to get him, then that would definitely improve their team. Okay. What's up, my Bruce, my guy? He said not enough basketball for all three of them on the Celtics, only one ball. I think Bill will be willing to sacrifice. I think Bill will be willing to sacrifice for Tatum and Brown. I think he would be willing to look to bring you. I think Bill will be looking to sacrifice Bruce. Honestly, that's just my opinion. Salute my guy, Soccer Updates. Bubba, what's good with y'all? Place for keep. What's up, little bro? Y'all hit that like button. We're just going through these teams, man, about Bradley Beal. But yeah, I think Boston will be a good team for him if they're able to get him there. Eastern Conference champion contender, and I think Bradley Beal put them in over the hump. That's just my opinion. Okay, let's go on to the next team. Another Eastern Conference Atlantic team in the same division, the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this was more talked about before the season was out, more towards James Harden, before he got there. Y'all know I said before that Joel Embiid, the problem with the situations with the Sixers is that his co-stars have let him down. Ben Simmons has let Joel Embiid down. I don't even have to go back to what happened in the 2021 conference finals where dude pretty much passed the ball underneath the basket when he had a clear layup. He's an unreliable shooter. And then you look at James Harden, what he did last year, 2 shots in the playoffs against the Miami Heat. Just utterly ridiculous. Shot like 2 for 12 from the field at I think 11 points. Just utterly James Harden. Very very disappointing. This is what Joel Embiid's had to deal with. You go back to any of these playoffs, his co-stars have let him down. So it was reported about before they even got James Harden that Joel Embiid wanted Bradley Beal as his co-star. He didn't want James Harden, and I can understand that because like I said, Bradley Beal to me has more of a fire to his game. I think he has more of a killer inside of him than a James Harden. You know what I'm saying? So I can see why Joel Embiid would say that. But now the Sixers, they possibly will want to have a trio, somewhat of a little bit of super team in Philadelphia. Now, to do that would be a little bit tricky. They would have to make some moves. They would have to trade Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris. Okay. Now, to get a Bradley Beal, in my opinion, I wouldn't be opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? If he if you talking about having Bradley Beal on the Philadelphia Sixers, that's a team that's already ready assembled to win. Tyrese Maxey's a great young player, good young player, but he's not ready to win yet. He's in his second year, going in his third year. He had a lot of promise this season, but he's not an all-star yet. He's a young nice player. Tobias Harris, y'all saw what he did in the playoffs. You know, I think what it is with the Sixers, they kind of like overstepped their boundaries, thinking that Tobias was somewhat of this guy that he's not. That he's an all-star. He's not an all-star. So I don't think they would be opposed to letting him down, like letting him go. Because I would take Bill over Tobias any day, and I think anybody on this panel, this chat, would take Bradley Beal over Tobias Harris. So if you're asking just me to let go of Tobias and Tyrese Maxey, and possibly I don't know maybe a pick or whatever, then I wouldn't be opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. That's just me. That's my opinion. So that's another, option right there. That's just the business side and the basketball side. Two more teams that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to let y'all in. And this was something I actually talked about, earlier, a few videos ago. I talked about the Miami Heat. Now, this to me would be the team that makes the most sense. I think Bill would fit here more than any other team because if you look at the playing style of look at the players around Bill, if he was to go to Miami, they fit with that. He would fit in that culture because the Heat need another guard to help Jimmy out. They need another dynamic scorer. That's why they got beat by Boston when they had Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jimmy Butler is essentially the only real offensive threat. Tyler Hero being hurt, Bam Adebayo streaky, because he doesn't feel like he doesn't know he has a place in the offense. Kyle Lowry dealing with that hamstring injury. He's getting up there in age. And they don't have it. They need a young, strong, dominant scorer. And I think Bill will fit very nicely. I think Eric Spoelstra will find a good system, a good rhythm. Bill can play off the ball, on the ball. That's the beautiful thing about him. He don't need the ball in his hands to be effective, right? So I wouldn't be opposed to that. I would love to have Bill on a Miami Heat. Him being there with Jimmy Butler, that would be must see TV. I'm just being honest. I don't know the financial situation. I don't know about what the financial situation is, but I do know Miami. I think they're like the second or third most likely team to get Beal, which I think will be big. So we'll see what happens with strings Pat Riley can bring, but I'm just trying to see what the options that you can bring to them. What's Philly going to do with Tyrese Maxey if they get Beal? They're gonna trade him. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna trade Tyrese Maxey to get Beal. They're gonna trade Maxey and Tobias Harris to get Beal. They're not gonna trade. They're not going. You gotta trade Maxey. You gotta get rid of Maxey to get Beal. You gotta remember this is a 3-time All-Star. This ain't no regular player. Like you gotta give up Maxey and Tobias Harris to get Beal. And I would do that, honestly. Give a chance for Maxey to go to his own team in Washington and be the man, and continue to grow. Get away from James Harden. Everybody wins. And so that was the Miami Heat. I think that would be the best fit for him on the court. But again, I don't know what their financial situation is. But this is the last team. And they just can't stop, man. They just constantly keep trying to make something out of nothing. I don't know, but we gonna give them the nod. Like the Lakers, as I said in my live last night, I said anybody would be better. Anything would be better than what they have right now. The Lakers are in somewhat what we would call a very, very complicated situation, complicated marriage. They committed to Russell Westbrook with the contract they gave him with a $42 million contract that they're trying to get off of. Okay, they've tried damn near everything. I just read that they tried to make a trade for Malcolm Brogdon to the Pacers that they denied him. Now, just 3 years ago, the Pacers would have jumped all over that trade. Before Westbrook got actually more so probably like 2 years ago. Before he came to the Lakers and probably before he went to the Wizards, that they would have made that trade in a heartbeat, right? The Pacers would have made that trade to get Russell Westbrook in a heartbeat. But when your teams are denying Russell Westbrook, a former MVP, then it's gotten bad. Okay, it's not just his play, but it's just the contract that he has. Nobody wants to take that contract on. You have to find somebody that's hopefully willing to match it. I did hear about Charlotte being a potential team to get Westbrook, but until I see it, I won't believe it. Okay. Um, as far as Bill on the court with LA, of course, yeah, it would be a better fit than Westbrook because, like I said, he spreads the floor. Bill will be a perfect player for LeBron, where he can find him on the corners, find him in on the wings, catch and shoots, pull ups. He would take the scoring load off LeBron. He can be a third star to Anthony Davis and LeBron. He would fit perfect with him. The only thing that I'm worried about is if the Lakers, don't get to the conference finals or don't make it deep in the playoffs, then they're going to find a way to blame Bill. So I kind of only want him to go there for that reason. But if you're talking about just basketball, related, he would fit better than most any other teams. Bill said Bill goes to the Lakers. The best they can do is the first round. I don't know about that. I think it's going to come down to because they got a new coach too. I mean, if you got AD and LeBron playing at a high level, then I would give them second round. It depends who they face. If they face the Clippers or the Warriors, then yeah, all bets are off. They're gonna lose that series. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna lose that series. But if they don't have to deal with them, if they deal like a Dallas or a Denver or a Minnesota or something like that, then I think the Lakers can take them out just by sheer firepower. You bring Bradley Beal in there, that would be a very, very good move for them. But I said the Lakers, they don't have much to offer. They don't have really no finances, no real financial gains. Like they're going to do what's best for business. Washington's going to do what's best for them. They're not going to worry about how it makes the Lakers, look if they choose to if they turn them down. They're going to do what's best for the Washington Wizards. So I don't know what's going to happen to Bill. He, like I said, the tweet he said, he was basically saying that he didn't decline no player option, or if he did, he didn't want that business out there. So I mean, we won't know until June 29th, like what's what. You know what I'm saying? We won't know what's what until June 29th. Um, it's going to be a lot of buzz. It's going to be a crazy off season. And I'm prepared for it, man. This is why I love basketball because it doesn't stop. It's all year round. You know what I'm saying? But I just put the link in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to come in here and cook? Y'all can, click on the link and we can kind of talk about what's going on with Bradley Beal. And, that's something that we can, discuss. See, let's go through some of these comments. Bubba said, "What about Bill to the Minnesota Bill and Cat?" Nah, because they got Anthony Edwards there. Him and Bill play the same position. Yeah, I wouldn't mess up with Cat and Ant got there. Minnesota's gonna be as good as Cat takes them. It's not so. Cat has to find out who he is. Are you gonna be behind Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic your entire career, or are you gonna take that step up to be better? Like I think Cat has a talent to be that, but he just has to have the commitment, man. Like he has the talent. He can shoot the three. He's athletic. He has offense, but his defense is not great. All right, so yeah. What's up, Bruce?
Hey man, what's up?
Nothing, bro. Just going through this list, man. I'm trying to figure out where's Bill gonna happen to Bradley Bill, man. What you think?
Um, if I'm Bill, I go to Miami.
Go to Miami.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pay any taxes. I have uh more opportunity to win. The media is not gonna be on me. They're not gonna talk about my team like 24/7. If I go to the Lakers, I know Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless gonna talk about it 24/7. And then
Right.
first take, they're gonna be on the Lakers all the time. If Bill makes a turnover, it's gonna be like Bill, 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 Bill. So if I want some peace, like if I want to win, I know Butler wants to win. I know Pat Riley wants to win, and I have a good chance to win. I'm on the East, even though the East is loaded. Uh,
Mm.
so I go to Miami. I save my money because, but I know that his wife wants to be a star. So I know she's pregnant now. So maybe he needs to think about the money. He's gonna have 3 kids now. So
Well, I don't think that's why I don't think LA would be able to pay him much because they
yeah.
already got two max players with AD and LeBron.
hmm
So
There's too
I
much
mean,
drama in LA.
right, right. What's up, Bubba?
What's up, BJ? What's up, Bruce?
Hey man, how you doing?
Good. Now, if I'm Bill, I'll try and go to Philly
Mm,
because you got a Joel Embiid who's in his prime right now. You got a Harden who doesn't want to score; he just want to facilitate. You know what I'm saying? Which all three of them can stretch the floor, which adds space into the floor. So all Philly got to do is add a couple more pieces, and they are title contenders. Now Bill can go out there and get a shot and get his own shot, you know what I'm saying, which can kind of help take some of the pressure off of Joel Embiid. But Philly will have to trade away a couple pieces, like you said, they have to give up Tyrese Maxey, who's a young player who, you said you want to see him on his own team, which, he's going to be second fiddle if he goes to Washington to Kuzma. But yeah, if I'm big, I want to be in Philly. They have a great chance to win. I don't, as much as I care about my family, I mean, my wife wants to be a star, but I want to win a championship. And with me wanting to win a championship, I can't win a championship with the Lakers. You know, Philly, it's either Philly or Miami, which Philly I would say has the best chance to win a championship if I join that team.
Okay, so yeah, those are two good, interesting picks, and those are mine as well. I think with Philly, if we're talking about basketball on the court, I think yeah, because you got Joel Embiid and you got, you know, if James Harden does half of what he was in Houston, you have Bill in there, then yeah, you have a pretty solid, super team. But the problem is with Philly, they got Doc Rivers there, and I'm not trusting on him. So that's why I would say Miami is better because you have the full package. You have a great coach, great organization, championship culture. You got Jimmy Butler there, who's prepared, who's ready to win. Now you saw what he did in the playoffs. Their team collectively is, I think, a better suit than Philadelphia. But I agree with both of you. I don't like the Lakers at all. I think it's a drama show. I think that you can be a star if you want to be a star. Go to Miami because they got celebrity status down there as well. It's pretty much the south of LA. That's what Miami is. Um, how do y'all feel about Boston?
uh, Brown will not be happy because if he goes to Boston, he's gonna be hanging out with Tatum all the time. They're gonna be together all the time. Brown Brown is gonna be like, I'm out as soon as I can. I'm out. So and they already like my turn, your turn. So is Brown gonna get the ball?
Well, that's why I was saying I think, and it's just my opinion. I think Bill will be willing to sacrifice.
Hmm.
I think Bill wouldn't go in there thinking that messing anything up. He's gonna go in there with the mindset to see what can help us win. And if he feels like sacrificing shots and giving more of the shots to JB and Jason Tatum's gonna help him win, then I think Bill will be willing to do that. And like he'll play point guard.
Is Bill a good defender?
No.
He can defend. He can
Hmm.
defend when he wants to. He's not atrocious.
Um, I don't
I
know.
think when you don't have as much offensive responsibility and you can have more time to use your energy to play defense, I think you can see different things. Um, I
Hmm.
think Bill is willing to work. I think Bill has a mindset, the right mindset to do what's best for the team, and if that means playing better defense and giving up shots, I think he'll be willing to do that.
Hmm. I don't
What
know.
about you,
Yeah.
Bubba?
I mean, I don't think Boston is a good fit for him, because they don't. I feel like they're not ready to, take that next jump. Like Miami's ready. We saw it in the playoffs. We saw with Boston. I mean, yeah, they got to the finals, but the moment was too big for them. So I don't think it would be a great fit for him. And Boston kind of plays different from how he plays. You know what I'm saying? And it'll take away from Jalen Brown's game as well, because it would mean he has to take less shots, and who's going to facilitate for them? Like you said, Bill can play point guard, but will he be willing to play point guard with them? That should be a question that we should ask. But if he goes to Philly, so you have James Harden who's willing to play point guard, who Bill plays very good off the ball. We saw that when Russ was with him, and played off the ball, averaged damn near 30 points per game, almost won the scoring title while playing not great defense, but decent defense. You
But
know,
my questions about Philly is who's gonna play defense on Philly? Because if Bill goes to the Sixers, so is Tybo gonna still be there? Is Maxi gonna be there? All I mean, Philly bench is gonna be thin because all the money is gonna be in like three players, right? Two players, three players.
Yeah, I
right?
don't. They gonna have to get off of Maxi. They ain't gonna be able to keep Maxi in, they're gonna have to get off both of them. And Philadelphia's bench is already terrible as it
Mhm.
is.
What about
Yeah,
Tybo? Tybo is their best defender. I don't think he's gonna be on the team if Bill's there.
yeah. I saw a report that they're trying to trade him for PJ Tucker. They're trying to give him 30 million.
That's stupid.
It is.
Yeah, that's dumb. But that's Daryl Morey for you. That's
That's why Bill cannot go there because Murray is terrible. He's in love with Arden. I don't know what's wrong with that. He's fascinated by Arden. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I heard they was trying to get Eric Gordon, to which I'm kind of
Oh,
cool with it if he comes off the bench.
Eric Gordon is terrible defender.
I mean, he
He's,
is.
he's tricky. The Houston Sixers.
yeah. I wouldn't touch it. I think Philly's better than LA, but yeah, Miami definitely is a team that I would pick um to go to because they're ready to go. They're ready and made. Y'all keep hitting that like button. Um, if somebody said Portland, I don't really think that's a good place for him to go to because it's not going to really change nothing. I think it's just going to be a repeat of CJ McCollum.
They got Grant today. I don't think Grant is a great defender. He's okay. but now he's in love with the threes. So Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And somebody said Bill to Milwaukee.
they gonna
Oh
do a Chris Middleton.
Maybe they move him to the three.
no, no.
Yeah, I don't think they gonna get. I don't think they gonna give Bradley Bill. Like how who they gonna give up to get him? That's the problem.
Mm. If he wants to win now, he needs to go to a contender. Like Miami is the best fit for me. But if he wants the money or the fame, LA or you know or Philly, like you said, whatever.
Wait, if he wants the money, then he should stay in
Stay,
Washington.
yeah, he stays in Washington. They giving him 5 year, I think 240 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not
if he
gonna
want
win
the
in
money, he
Washington.
stay in Washington.
Okay.
But well, that's my thing with the quote though. I don't know what he meant when he said. I mean, y'all saw the quote he said on Twitter where he said, "Wade Hun, like, is that you saying that you don't want that news out? Is that you saying like you didn't decline the option? Like, what y'all think?"
Bill went to University of Florida, so Miami needs to think about that. So so he has a connection with Tatum.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, they're from the Lou.
yeah,
and I don't know.
yeah.
Where does Bill live in the off season?
Uh, I don't know.
Mm,
It's a good question. I don't know where he lives.
mm,
It's a good question.
I mean, in the offseason, most players live in Miami, California, those areas.
yeah.
Miami, LA, um, Atlanta,
Vegas. Yeah.
Because
Vegas.
I know he has a house in Venice, California. I remember a couple years ago he bought a house in Venice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't see. I mean, I could it be like his relationship with LeBron because he doesn't have like a close, but he does have somewhat of a respect for LeBron. Like, could it, that persuade him to go to the Lakers?
I don't know because Tatum is his friend. Tatum is in Jordan Brand with him. Jordan Brand with him. So that's a lot of connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Boston could be a good fit for him. I mean, like I said, they were just coming out the finals, and what stopped them was a better, more experienced, tougher team. And maybe you need a guy that's going to be more of a experienced player who's tough nosed and ain't never been to the finals, but he's an all-star. He's a seasoned vet. This is probably what they need.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
could not score. That's why they could not score. Their offense. I don't think Idoka needs a offensive coach on his bench because the offense. I didn't understand the offense. So
yeah,
and so if I'm Bill, I go to Miami. That's me. Uh,
yeah. Yeah, if they go to
but
Miami, bro, I think that put them as the favorites for next year.
no, no, no.
To come out the East.
Yeah,
That
I
number
think they'll
13
be.
guy, Giannis. Giannis, he cannot stop Giannis. He always disappear. What's his name? Number 13, Miami.
Who,
Bam
Bam?
Adebayo, but ain't nobody stopping Jimmy.
Uh,
Drew Holiday can't stop Jimmy Butler. Chris Middleton can't stop him.
mm.
And then you got Beal there.
I hear a lot of people say Milwaukee is gonna be great. It's gonna be a contender. I think Milwaukee is gonna be worse to me. I don't know why everybody say it's gonna be better.
Curry guy's the best player in the NBA.
Mm. I don't know if he's the best player.
Yeah, Bruce would say Steph's the best player, right?
Well, maybe. I mean, you could say that. I think Giannis is the most dominant player. I think he's the best. I think best player. You gotta play both sides.
Mm. But if you're shooting air balls on free throws, I don't know.
You say what?
If you're shooting air balls in free throws, can I trust you to make a free throw at the end of the game?
Well, he only got put in that position because he usually the Bucks usually are leading. They have such a far enough lead that he don't have to take those last second free throws.
And if I have Kawhi on my team, I'm not scared of the Giannis.
Oh no, I think Kawhi's the best player in the league when healthy.
Yeah.
I think
They-
we know what I'm looking forward to. I think what's going to happen next year. I think it's going to be the Clippers and Bucks in the finals. If they don't make this move for Bill, I think it's going to be the Clippers and Bucks. Yeah.
I think I don't trust Zubac, man. I watch all the Clippers game. I don't trust Zubac. He gets abused all the time. If they play Dallas, I trust Zubac, man.
He gets abused in the pick and roll, but I mean most teams are not. They don't have the guards to do that, like that type of offense where just pick and roll, and they don't have the offense for that. It's like a
Mm.
select team, few teams that does that to Zubac.
I mean, Dallas against Clippers could be a long series again because if Zubac
Yeah,
is the center,
it's always a long series.
If the Clippers face the Mavs again, the Clippers will win because it's going to come down to Kawhi against Luka.
mm,
And the Mavs, to me, they're never going to get like to that level where they're just better. Like they got better this year, but I'm still looking at like they're the second round, third round exit next year.
I don't know. I heard that Brunson, New York Knicks are going hard after him. So
Yeah, I think he's going to New York.
his father, I think he's a coach now with the Knicks. The guy who's the general manager was his agent. So I remember his father playing for the Knicks. So
That's why Kyrie ain't going there.
okay. I
I
mean,
think
what about Bill to the Nets?
mm,
Mm.
with Kyrie gone,
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't be no championship team. They'll be okay. Um, Ben Simmons, we'll see what happens with him. But uh,
Yeah, I'll be forgetting that Ben Simmons is still in the league, bro.
yeah, it's gonna depend on what Ben Simmons does, and KD has to be the best player on the court like 99% of the times.
Yeah.
I mean, the way KD has been active on Twitter, I wish he was that active against the Celtics.
Hmm. Well, that's KD for you, you
Yeah.
Twitter thug. Shoot, he's a Twitter thug. That's what he is. Play for keeps says swap out Ben and keep Kyrie, and that's would be a problem. We're gonna play defense.
Yep.
Mm.
They wouldn't have no
I
defense.
hope Kyrie does not become the next Marbury. Every team get tired of him, and then you know he has to go to another country.
I could see Kyrie leaving, going to overseas. I could see him doing that.
What about Kyrie to the Clippers? There's gonna be a lot of trade tomorrow. There's gonna be a lot of trades
You said Kyrie to where?
to the Clippers.
No, absolutely not.
I know you're a Clippers fan. I mean, that's my second team.
I just I don't think Kyrie would be. I made a video on this yesterday. I just think Kyrie and the Clippers is just you gotta give up too much to get him. You gotta give up Norman Powell, Robert Covington, and probably Reggie Jackson.
Mm.
That's just too much depth, man. So
If I'm the Hornets, I try to get Kyrie. I mean, not Kyrie. Bradley Beal.
yeah, that'll be a nice fit.
I put him with Melo, Miles Bridges. You know,
But Bill could fit with any team. Like it don't matter what team it's on. He can fit with the Lakers, the Heat, the Celtics, the Sixers. It don't matter what team Bill's on because he plays. He can play off the ball.
not with the Warriors. Then he'll be off the bench.
Well, they obviously got um, their offense is insane, but the basic basic NBA offense they can play with. He can play with any team.
But wait, what about Beal in Memphis?
Yeah,
So Memphis get rid of Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks and Bane.
I don't think Memphis wants that.
Baines is pretty much their best. I think that's their best shooter,
Shooter, yeah.
best shooter slash scorer.
He's their bodyguard too.
Bane don't seem like a bodyguard. He just seemed like a dude that has muscle, but
Yeah.
he ain't no bodyguard. Problem with Memphis is they too inexperienced. Like they can't win with guys that young. They don't have no guys who actually got some experience.
They're too cocky. That's what the best.
Very cocky,
I feel it's overconfidence.
cockiness, cockiness. I saw the tweet that Jaren Jackson put out, and Clay called it out, basically saying that they haven't even been to this position yet. They talking trash, and I've seen that throughout the season too with Memphis. They good at doing that. They good at talking, but they got humbled very quick in that Warriors series. Got humbled very fast.
Mm.
So
I mean, yeah, they did. Sure, there's levels to this.
I don't see Memphis, and I seen this. Somebody was telling me about this. I don't think Memphis is going to be as great this year as last year.
Mm, I don't know. I mean,
Regulator, welcome to the show. He said Bucks need Bill for their second unit. If Bill goes to any team, he's starting. He ain't going coming off the bench unless it's the Warriors, and even then, yeah, unless it's the Warriors because they're not going to take Clay off the start. They're going to put him on. Yeah, Bill ain't coming off the bench.
Yeah.
so if Brunson leaves, can the Mavs acquire Bill?
Uh, I don't think. I think they have to do a sign and trade.
Mm.
I think they have to do a sign and trade. Honestly,
Yeah.
because the amount of money Bill makes, I don't think that they'll be able to match that salary or come close to it.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of trade tomorrow, so we never know tomorrow what happens. Because Woj was saying today there's gonna be a lot of trades tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, during the draft, there's gonna be a lot of trades.
Oh,
Yeah.
the draft's today.
Yeah, I mean, I guess today, Thursday.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But all right, fellas, I'm gonna left shut down live.
All right.
Yeah, man. I will be back on what's tomorrow? Thursday. I will probably be back on either Friday or Saturday.
Yep. Let's go Heat.
Go Heat, go.
Yep.
Any last words, Bubba?
Bill to Philly.
Okay, we got one person saying Miami, the other person saying Philly. Where would Bradley Beal decide to go? All right, fellas.
All right.
All right, peace, bro.
All right, y'all have a good night. All right, that concludes it. Pull Up Basketball Show. We spent about 47 minutes on the live. Anybody else want to come in the show, y'all don't hesitate to ask. Y'all can come in anytime. Hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? And don't be a stranger, man. Don't be a stranger. We got enough room for everybody here. So, yeah, that concludes the show. And respectfully say, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. I like swimwear.